There's nothing quite like The Office. It's a cult classic that has exceeded its status as a cult classic. It's now become a cultural icon. Go into any mall or store and shout, "I declare bankruptcy!" And at least half the store will get that reference. It's insane how many people have watched the show, not to mention the millions of people who have seen the entire series multiple times. All that said, most of us know The Office. We've all had that first time where we binged the whole series and then eventually moved on to Parks and Rec and then started watching The Office again. That's all well and good. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the entire series all the way through. It's honestly probably in the double digits at this point. Yeah, I have no life. The thing is, there's a third show that many people haven't seen. Yes, there's an elusive stepchild that is related to The Office that many of you have not seen. So let's get into it. This may seem too good to be true. You're likely saying, "Agent Jim Shorts, what the heck are you talking about? Like, actually, what even happened to you, by the way? You take 3 months off and then come out talking about a new Office? Like, did you hit your head in the past 3 months?" Well, actually, yeah. I started boxing a little bit and I've got hit quite a few times in the past 3 months. But anyway, that's not the reason for this. I'm not actually crazy. I'm talking about 30 Rock. Now, before you roll your eyes and call this clickbait, hear me out. I know some of you have probably seen this show or at least started it, but many of you, especially those of you who are younger that are in college or high school, you probably missed the whole 30 Rock craze. Quick sidebar, it'd be awesome if you guys could take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing, and you current subscribers are the best. Like, seriously, you guys are awesome. Anywho, getting back to the topic at hand. Like The Office, 30 Rock was originally aired by NBC in October of 2006. And this show continued its run for 7 whole seasons. For reference, that's the same number of seasons as Parks and Rec. So yeah, this show had a serious following and lasted for a good long while. Even with that being the case, I can tell some of you probably aren't quite buying my spiel yet. Maybe you saw this on Netflix or Hulu at some point and you thought, I'd give it a try, but then you never really quite got into it. If that's the case, I totally get it. This show definitely has a bit more of a Deadpool meta-type tone, and it also has a bit of an SNL-ish vibe at some times. But on top of that, I think this show has a similar struggle to what Parks and Rec had in its first season. Both of these shows, 30 Rock and Parks and Rec, can struggle a bit off the bat and can be really sluggish in the first season. I find all of Parks and Rec Season 1 really hard to watch at this point, and I think 30 Rock isn't quite as bad, but it starts off slow in the first few episodes. It really struggles to get the viewer into the action in the first few episodes, and it takes time getting the characters fully set up. Knowing this, I recently had my lady sit down and watch this with me. While she seemed pretty disinterested at first, by the 3rd or 4th episode, she was cracking up and is slowly realizing that Liz Lemon is her spirit animal. So please just trust me on this, give this show another shot if you didn't get hooked before. And if you haven't seen it before, let me give you some more reasons to watch this show. While I still think Parks and The Office are superior shows, I think 30 Rock is criminally underrated. The chemistry between all the actors is arguably better than The Office or Parks. I know, that is a bold statement, but I can back it up. The chemistry is strung between the shows so beautifully, and it is especially apparent with Alec Baldwin and Tina Fey whenever they interact with each other. Their banter is some of the best I've ever seen, and I can't help but die laughing at some of their witty one-liners.
I never sleep on planes. I don't want to get incepted.
If I can't poop in the street, why should my tax dollars pay for someone else to? Didn't you just get a haircut 2 days ago?
I get my haircut every 2 days. After all, your hair is your head suit.
Letting morality get in the way of making money. I might as well go and be a teacher. Ambition is the willingness to kill the things you love and eat them in order to stay alive. Haven't you ever read my throw pillow?
Really, I did Big Sister in college. That little girl taught me how to use tampons.
You know, there are some things that are actually harder to do with 2 people, such as monologues.
Even when they're spewing lines about agendas I'm tired of hearing about, or even poking fun at things I love, the banter is so good, I can't help but love it. I think a lot of this comes down to Tina Fey. I mentioned earlier that I thought this show had a bit of an SNL feel, and that's largely due to Tina Fey. Tina Fey was a star on SNL alongside others like Amy Poehler, aka Leslie Knope, and they both went on to star on their own TV shows. In fact, the whole premise of 30 Rock stems around a late-night show called TGS that's run by NBC. This is clearly a satire on Saturday Night Live, and this creates some great meta moments with all the characters. And this style of show allows Tina Fey's sketch comedy background to really play well in this serialized series. To reiterate my love for Tina Fey's humor, If you've ever seen the movie Mean Girls, yeah, I'm talking about Mean Girls. I know you saw it. We don't want to admit we love this movie, but let's be real. We're all like,
that is so fetch.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
it's okay. It's an amazing guilty pleasure that we all may or may not want to admit we love. Kind of like how I don't want to admit Nickelback still kind of slaps. Never made it as a blind man. Couldn't cut it as a poor man's ceiling. Anyway, Mean Girls is a cult classic, and a large part of that is a ridiculously silly but yet clever script headed up by Tina Fey herself. While you may laugh at me for championing Mean Girls as a great reason to watch 30 Rock, I actually stand by that weird logic. Mean Girls is actually funny, and so is 30 Rock. I mean, boom, I said it, it's out there now. I just came out of the closet as a Mean Girls fan. With all that said, in a very awkward fashion I might add, the same witty humor that made Mean Girls a classic makes 30 Rock an underrated gem. So that's a lot of backstory on 30 Rock, and I'd say it should be enough to warrant you taking a shot on watching it. If you're still on the fence about watching this is 7 entire seasons of a quality show that's just chilling on Hulu in the States. There's really no downside to giving it a shot. I'm confident that if you give it an honest try, you'll be finding yourself falling for the likes of Jack Donaghy and Liz Lemon in the same way you previously fell for Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute. And you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, it'd be awesome if you guys could take a second to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There will be more Jim Shorts worthy content coming out soon, so you guys don't want to miss out. To make sure you don't miss out on any new videos, take a second and make sure that bell icon is hit. And if you're still not satisfied by all of this Jim Shorts content, hop over to my Instagram and follow me there. We have a community of fun-loving people who love superheroes, pop culture, The Office, and all other great things. It's also a great way to stay up to date with everything happening on the channel, and a good way to make your thoughts known to me about what you'd like to see in future videos. Anyway, thanks for sticking around, and as always, don't forget to stay frosty.